South Jersey, and she's like, no, just follow the road signs. I was like,
yeah, people.
I'm not like that. I can't do that. I don't think.
But like if I lived in a time where there wasn't GPS, which we did like growing up, but I didn't have to drive.
Hard to imagine.
I sometimes I do think about it. I'm like, damn, people really knew how to get
they had to
just with a paper map.
They had to.
Or just by thinking about it.
Why does it seem so crazy?
I don't even know like. Well, I know like 87 and 17, but I don't know like Route 6 or I don't know that.
Yeah.
Why would I know that?
Yeah. You don't drive. Yeah, you don't need to drive around there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, apparently on GPSs, doesn't it say that 17 goes all the way to New Mexico?
Is it true?
Oh wow!
I don't know if it's accurate, but they were like Route 17, New Mexico.
Oh my god!
It is.
I don't know if that's
is
real.
fascinating that there are some routes who do go throughout many different states and like very long distance, and you can take.
I think 87 does to 87.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it goes from Florida
also,
up until whatever.
Yeah, 9 north.
Yeah.
Or 9 east. I can't remember. Shoot, I think 9 north. One just goes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of with Angie. Like if there's a road I'm driving on like consistently, I will know that road. If someone's like, oh, like what road are you taking? I'm like, I'm going 17 north. And I know exactly what that means in every sense of saying that. But then if someone like I'll be like somewhere like up like further upstate, and I'll be like, oh, I went to like Buffalo this weekend. Someone's like, oh, you were on like route this and this, and I'm like the GPS said it, then I was, but other than that, I can't confirm.
There were some trees.
Mixed bags here on Sessions with Mary Jane. We saw it. Let people know where we're at and what they're listening to. I'm Reena Ezra.
I'm Brendan O'Brien.
And I'm Jordan Freed.
And Brendan, would you like to introduce the guests? Because you know them so well.
Oh, I do know them very well, yeah. So
that sounded creepy. I did not mean that. Is that just me?
If you say it in a vampire accent, it's creepier. So you go, he knows that he will.
Yeah.
Yes, we have two great guests today, guys. Give it up for Angie Galvis and Jackie Creazzo. Thanks for being here, guys.
Oh my god, a pleasure.
Yeah, so, yes, as Reena alluded to, I do know Jackie and Angie because I have previously worked with both of them, being the slingers of sushi at Tuxedo Sushi, so...
The founders of,
the people who built the restaurant, Brick by Brick and Fish by Fish.
And speaking of sushi...
Yes, so you guys will have a challenge to do today.
So
you'll be working as a team, though, so don't worry.
Oh,
so,
what? I thought they were going head-to-head.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Reena, before we record this, before we record this, I said, Reena, I was like, should we have them go, like, be a team or go head-to-head? And Reena goes, well, of course, they're gonna be on a team. Why would they be on a team? And I'm like, I don't know.
Wait, I said that?
You said that.
Okay,
wow,
I was high. I was probably high.
Yeah.
Was I in the middle of eating? If I'm
You were eating. She was eating,
okay.
yes.
So, in conclusion, no, I meant head-to-head.
All right, well, good. So, yeah, you know how you guys just felt united? Like, you're going to be on the same team? Well, now you're going head-to-head with each
We
other.
talked a lot about our team union on the way here.
Yes. I know you have your jerseys on now. You have your team name picked out. But you know what? Civil war between the team.
Wait, what would have been your team name?
I don't know. Well, now we're on the topic of sushi, so now I feel like I'm sushi oriented. We could be like sushi and sashimi.
I'd say no.
So is that sashimi is not sushi?
Wait, hold on. Before we address that, I will answer that. But Angie, you said hard. Cut that down. No.
You didn't know you were
only because Brendan's sashimi in my phone. But I was thinking like row girls. Or something like that.
That's really cute. That's perfect.
Wait, he's sashimi in your...
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Is she just Angie in your phone?
No, I think she's spicy mayo in my phone.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's very cute, guys. The real girls are really cute. But guess what? Now you're going to fight against each other. And it's funny that you put the sushi-themed name. Yeah. Because your challenge will be to name as many rolls served at a sushi restaurant that you can name. We'll keep track.
As many as you can, yeah.
Wait. Yes. Do we take turns?
So you just shout them out whenever you get them. So you have the entire length of the podcast to name these rolls.
I usually just tally them, but you like writing them out.
I like you. Well, so if someone's like, "Hey, did I say that one already?" I don't have to be like, I have a number here.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's smart.
But anyway.
I just remember.
So you can interrupt in the middle of conversations. If whenever you think of them, you just shout them out and you get a point on the board.
Oh.
Yeah. Now I will say, because I think one of the things you run into with rolls is you can go on forever of just like adding ingredients, being like a roll with this thing in it, a roll with this thing, and another thing.
Sure.
So I will say that they have to be like names of like rolls that have like ingredients like implied in them. You can't do like a fish and then like a topping just to say that that's a roll. So it has to be like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
This is a good rule, Brendan.
Yeah.
It has
Thank you,
to be
thank you.
This is a great
sushi
rule.
that's been like only ones listed on a menu, like only ones that are served. Because like, what if there's a sushi that someone's like made, but it hasn't gained popularity?
Oh.
Well, it depends if you've had it and you know it's a roll. Then it's a
But
roll.
how are you supposed to look that up, Brendan?
I'll look at. I will scour every restaurant, every sushi menu.
I feel like I could name the whole tuxedo sushi menu off the top
we'll
of
see
my
which
head.
one of you guys name it first. So again, you have the.
So can we repeat?
No. So it's whoever names it, you get it. So that's where.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Once you name
So-
it, it's
Oh,
your
I have to
line.
consciously remember to.
Yes.
So could I name like a volcano
Yeah.
roll?
Volcano
And that's
rolls a roll.
one?
That's a roll. Yeah.
Okay, so it can just be a name.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be the ingredients.
Right.
It's not like eel
Oh
on
my
a
god,
platter.
that'd be so.
Yeah.
She lists so many ingredients of every single roll. I'd be mad impressed. Like, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Name one.
But that is a part of being a server, though, right? Is that you do
Oh,
have to
yeah.
know the ingredients of anything you serve in case someone asks you a question about it,
yeah.
right?
Have you, Jordan or Reena, have you guys worked in the food industry?
No, never. I ate at Tuxedo Sushi, so I know the quality is really good. Yeah, I know. I surprised Brendan when he's on Work Ones. No, I don't think I've ever done anything in the restaurant industry, but Jordan has.
Yeah, I worked at a deli and a pizzeria in New Orleans.
How was working at a
Oh.
deli? Because that seems like one of the most, I don't know, I feel like I'd be like high pressure.
Both of the places that I worked at were like New Orleans chains and like Louisiana chains. So they'd gotten to the point where they were franchisable. I was at the original Martin Wine Cellar,
Wow.
and it was like grandfathered into this like law where they could sell beer at like wholesale prices. So they had the cheapest like craft beer and like wine in
Awesome.
like New Orleans
Yeah.
because they got
Wow.
it so cheap. But like a lot of people didn't know that. Just people would go there like on weekdays in the afternoon and get super hammered, and then we'd just be like, "Hey, how can I help you? Like, clear your stuff." But nah, like I made some sandwiches there, but I was mostly like a phone girl. Yeah,
got
in
it.
both of my jobs. Like they didn't call it a phone girl at Martin Wine Cellar, but it was very cool. I guess like I was working as a cashier for the deli, and we didn't have waiters, so like I guess I was taking orders
yeah.
and doing that kind of stuff. And it was very cool because like a lot of like New Orleans reject chefs would end up being the chefs there at the deli.
Yeah.
And they would be super good, and they would come up with very wild specials, and I would just get to try like very amazing things that you would not expect at a deli.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's great.
Like I had like saffron rice and other like just mole chicken and like random just Caribbean dishes, Mexican dishes, like
Wow.
Creole
That
dishes.
sounds
Like
okay.
they were just pulling from different places. So it was like very bizarre. And then I was just the guy who'd give people potato salad. And then like literally like I was like a broke college kid, so I would be like eating out of the little like cups because like it would be like a 2-hour lunch rush, and then nothing would happen for the next 5 hours.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys
Wow.
know how it is.
Yeah, how has your experience
play.
been?
At-
Working in the restaurant business in general, or just being like what is the ups and downs?
I will say, I think, before I get into the nitty-gritty of it, it truly helped me to become more patient, and it taught me how to socialize with people and kind of find the best way to talk to them and like interact with like people of different ages and like, you know, diets and things like that. I think it just helped me kind of grow as a person because I was there since I was 15 up until last year. This year? No, I was still there in March. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It
The
seems
year of
like
the
a
pandemic.
whole
It's a whole year.
Yeah,
year
that
by.
seems like forever ago.
Yeah, but really, yeah, I think it helped me grow a lot, and it was like a big part of my life for so long.
Yeah.
Wow, sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. Now get into the nitty gritty.
American dream roll.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. How important is it for you guys working in any kind of like food restaurant establishment to like the food that you serve?
I think that's best case scenario.
Mm.
Like, I mean, I guess you could work in a restaurant and that not be the case, but I mean, that's how you're gonna have the best like experience and give the best experience at a restaurant if you enjoy where you're at and what you're serving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say it. I mean, there obviously were things on the menu that I didn't love, and if someone asked me, what do you think about the, I don't know, rainbow roll, per se?
Wow.
I would say it's not my favorite. It's not what I would order. I would get this instead.
Right.
Something like that. It's really hard for me to straight up lie to someone
Something
and be like, that's a great
pink
dish.
dragon.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Pink dragon.
Or red dragon.
What is each of you, please answer, your top roll?
Next
Angry.
question.
You don't have one fave? You love it all?
I mean,
Is there-
did you
We
say
could
you said
rattle
Angry
off
Dragon?
all of our
I would say like top 3. You can't make
Angry
me
Dragon
pick
is
one.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was it?
Angry Dragon.
What is that made out of?
It has shrimp
Amazing.
tempura, mango, and crab salad on top.
Wow.
Connie salad, if you will.
Whoever
Oh my
came up
God.
with putting
So good.
mango
And spicy tuna,
in it.
sorry.
Such a
Yeah.
good-
It has everything.
Yeah, wow.
Basically.
It does sound like it does
Yeah.
everything.
So good.
That's why, like, when you like look at a menu and they have an ingredient in there that you're like, why? Like, if you're not used to seeing it there, it sometimes makes it more intriguing to want to try it because like, you're like, what if I don't get a chance to have this somewhere else ever again? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we try once a roll with like deep fried banana or something?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Crazy.
Yeah.
My
it
mind
wasn't good.
Oh,
yeah.
It sounds it sounds
crazy.
extremely bizarre, but like if I don't know, just thinking of how it would taste, I wouldn't think to ever put those together.
Right.
I think if Jay did it, he would make it work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the place we went to,
He would Tim Gunn it.
He
Make
would.
it work.
He would make it work indeed.
How many times have people asked for like the hand roll, thinking that they can manage it because it's they think it's like a hand roll, they think it's like a regular roll, you know? They think it's the other roll because they think you eat it with your hands.
Yeah.
I always kind of wanted to take a roll and like bite it because you know they
Yeah.
roll it up and they cut it up.
Yeah,
Before they cut it up, I want to just
yeah.
munch it,
Yeah.
kind of like a hand roll.
Yeah.
But that's less exciting, I guess.
Sushi Rita.
It's like,
That's
I
the
was
big
just gonna
trend.
say, yeah, that's like a sushi game.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
very true.
Is Jay pro or against the Sushi Rita?
He's amazing. Shout out to Jay from Tuxedo Sushi. He's dope. He makes amazing sushi. He is not. I don't think he's pro sushi burrito though, which I understand because like I feel like because you know what it is like working at a restaurant where you know like the like I don't know you're just like around the ingredients more like when you because I've seen sushi burritos and I've seen ones that are like close to like $20 and I'm like you're saying like spicy tuna and salad and rice basically you're not, like this is not really worth that price that you're spending, you know, so like that is like the one thing as much as I do when I go out to eat I do like to try new things. If I cannot rationalize like the price of the food I will sometimes not get it just because I'm like
That's fair.
yeah, because I'm like, I know how much this costs if I like went to the grocery store. Now, if I can't make it, that's another thing too. It's like
Right.
I generally want to go and buy food in a restaurant that
That you're not gonna prepare
yeah,
yourself.
because if I can make it, I feel more inclined to make it
Definitely.
myself.
I feel like I get pasta pretty rarely at restaurants for kind of that reason.
Yes.
Like, I think I can do this at home tomorrow if I wanted to.
Yeah. Right now, I can just leave this restaurant. Yeah.
But there's plenty of things at restaurants I couldn't say that about, so I lean towards those for sure.
Yeah. Are you guys? What do you guys? Are you guys fans of cooking or making food, which is exactly the same thing as cooking sometimes?
I'm a fan of both of those things, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
One more than
cooking.
the other.
Cooking's very therapeutic.
Mm.
I used to do my makeup because I thought it was therapeutic, but now that I'm older, I feel like I cook instead
Mm.
because I don't know. I'm big into podcasts, so this is really exciting for me to be here. To be on the other side of the mic, but yeah, it's nice because it's for me. It's like I just put on a podcast. I'm like with myself. I get to cook and like either follow a recipe or like just make something up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like rewarding after
Yeah.
until it's done, and you're like, oh my god. There's this mess of dishes, and now I have to get up.
Yeah.
And do you ever surprise yourself where you're like, oh, I'm not really sure how this is gonna come out, and then it comes out amazing, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm capable. You know, you're in. No, okay, just
Yeah, no. It's always like I still live with my parents, so I feel like sometimes I'm really proud of something, and like my parents aren't big, like they don't really express emotion the way that like someone else might. So like no matter if it's great or it sucks, like they're just not gonna tell me, or they'll just be like, yeah, it's good. And then my mom, how I'll know is like my mom 2 weeks later will be like, oh my god, let's make that again. Like that was really good. Or she'll never bring it up again. I'll be like, oh mom, I'm gonna make this again, and she's like, oh, I don't know, maybe we can do takeout instead. Rarely happens.
Does she not want to just hurt? Does she not want to hurt your feelings? I mean, you do get the message, right? And she doesn't basically have to tell you directly, right? So.
Yeah, it doesn't happen much anymore, thankfully. I think in the beginning, it's like when you're learning to cook and you have like the trial and error. I think now I'm confident enough where everything's pretty good for the most part.
So what about baking?
Oh, what would you say? Are you a better baker or a better cook?
I feel like I'm a good cook, but not like an exciting cook. Like I don't think I like I feel like I go pretty simple. So I feel like baking I get more creative with, which is what's kind of an added layer of fun of baking for me.
Yeah.
I do enjoy cooking. I just feel like I'm definitely overwhelmed with my process. Like the dishes I end up with and the mess I end up with, I'm like, what is it?
Yeah. What is one of
I do enjoy both a lot.
What do you like? Are there specific things you like baking now that, you know, Thanksgiving is going to come up or Christmas is coming? Or I mean, people do bake for Halloween, which is true. But I guess it depends on the baker. But are there like go-to things where you're like, yes, this is the holiday
Actually, well,
recipe?
I have these banana chocolate muffin cupcake brownie type hybrids that
What shape are they?
No, I just don't know how to best describe them. But that was a little too crazy. They look like a cupcake. I feel like I call them a muffin, but they're kind of like fudgy, like a brownie.
Wow.
They're
They
banana.
kind of, sorry to interrupt, they kind of look like those little packets of the 3 brownies you'd get like when you were little.
Like cosmic brownies?
No, they came in like the white bag with like the brown trim, and they were these 3 little like fudgy looking guys.
Oh, like they're round, right? They're round brownies.
They're like little
like
cupcakey things.
Yeah.
Okay. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Wait, no, I think I do.
No,
Little bites.
Yes, little bites.
Little bites, yeah, those were the best.
They kind of look like those. They remind me of that.
I feel like they were just like a cup of vegetable oil. It's like, why are these so good? It's just sugar blended with vegetable oil.
They like put 3 in a bag, like as if you're only gonna eat 1 bag, and then you eat all of the bags because you're like, well, you need more than 3.
Yeah, that's really true.
They're little bites, so you can have 17.
Oh, gotcha.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Why haven't they instituted like a massive bag for adults? Like they just
Big
still make it
bites.
for kids that
Big
you just
bites.
bring 1 for lunch.
Big boy bites.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo,
At least
I'm
it's like a fun
surprised
size.
I'm not diabetic by now.
Why?
Because the amount of sugar I ate, and like, imagine like our snacks now, when they have the way for the past like 10 years or whatever, where they're like, no sugar is the first degree in school. Every day going to school, you had like a sugar-packed snack, a lunch. I had like Little Bites, Gushers, the other ones that look like brownies with a little colorful sprinkle.
Those were the cosmic brownies.
Yeah, you know,
That's right.
Devil Dogs.
Yeah.
None of this is good. I mean, they're delicious, don't get me wrong, but like a little kid who can't contain herself and like eating on a daily basis.
Mhm.
And
I
had
fruit snacks.
so many calories.
I feel like fruit snacks weren't really fruity.
No.
They were just sugar.
Yeah,
That's
but they
what
look like fruit.
Yeah.
and they were amazing.
Yeah. What are your guys' like guilty
Welch.
pleasure snack, or like the thing that you like? You try to not eat too much of it, but it's too good to resist.
Not even a guilty pleasure, but kettle corn I promise I could eat every day of my life, and I almost do. So that definitely doesn't fall into the category of guilty pleasure, but like somehow it had to be mentioned.
Yes.
You know?
Shout out to kettle corn. We love it.
Popcorn in general, but I do love kettle corn.
So do you like work in a movie theater? Are you like are you popping it every day, or do you have like a brand you like that's in your closet?
Okay, I do have Angie's Boom Chicka Pop. Just a coincidence. Actually, Angie's the co-founder,
good, right?
the CEO. She's here.
I made it for her. I am CEO.
Wow. How do you do it?
I don't. But yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. I buy Costco-sized bags.
Oh, wow.
Often 2 at a time.
I had a couple before I came here.
Yeah. So it's available to me.
Wait, you go through those bags weekly? Like how often do you have to replenish?
No, I'm like pretty. I'm pretty
like
regimented at least about my intake most days.
Okay.
But
she's going to Costco weekly.
I mean, it's consistent. I have given Boom Chicka Pop. I would love to know the numbers. How much money I spent on that because
they should sponsor you.
They 100% should.
Yes.
This podcast is
also
not sponsored by
honestly,
but Jackie is.
It can be, yes.
They're vegan, right? They have some vegan ones.
Yeah, no, I think they are vegan. I think they got that whole list going for them. You know, all the good things.
Keto.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you should just like make your own spreadsheet and then just sum up everything. Or I guess you just collect the receipts.
I am interested at this point.
Yeah. Also, I just want to know how many bags you consume. Like you were saying how much, like the amount you spent on it.
Mm-hmm.
But like you started this at. I'm sorry, I'm just fascinated. You started this at like what?
Hello there, it's Jordan Freed from Late Night Hump, the person you're probably listening to on the podcast right now. I just wanted to let you know that we are coming back with our interdimensional improv show that takes you through space, time, and different realities over the course of an hour-long show that's made up on the spot based off of your suggestions. Our show is going to be Friday, November 12th, 2021 at 9:30 p.m. Get there around 9 p.m. so you could get settled in. It's at the Players Theater at 115 McDougal Street between West 3rd and Bleecker Streets in New York, baby. We're going to be in the Steve and Mary Skuros Theater, the Players Theater 3rd floor loft. You will have to have a proof of vaccination, but that should be fine for all of you guys. And these shows are really a ton of fun. They're really the best thing that we do. Do not miss this. Go to latenighthump.com/shows to find the ticket link. Once again, that's latenighthump.com/shows for the ticket link. And when you go there and buy your tickets, you could use code HUMP to get 50% off. It's definitely worth the code. Do that for yourself. Get your tickets early before the show sells out because we're only going to quarterly shows now. We used to do monthly. So come on out, fill out the seats, enjoy our first show all this fall. Back to the show.
Age, like
okay, well, so my popcorn consumption goes way back. Popcorn in general, love some good microwave popcorn. However, then I discovered the wonders of kettle corn at you get them at like a fair, or festival, whatever.
Yeah.
I was always scoping that out when at such an event. And then
how many fairs did you go to?
I mean, not fairs. Should I come across kettle corn?
Yes.
It was of interest to me.
Yes.
But yeah, Boom Chicka is the shit, and I forget the Costco bags. The number of regular size bags I bought that are I've gone through many.
Do you think they should open up a storefront where you can get fresh Boom Chicka, or would that ruin it?
Oh, you know what?
Fresh?
To divert from Boom Chicka specifically, there's a store in Newport called Incognito.
Oh, okay.
And it's all these crazy flavors of popcorn. You can get whatever. Oreo, you can get ghost pepper, you can get mustard or whatever.
Whoa.
It's crazy, it's awesome.
Yeah.
A company I used to work for every Christmas, one of the accounts like send a giant tub of popcorn, and they would be divided in like 3 or 4 exactly
The big
sizes.
tins.
The caramel, the Oreo, cheese, and then
cheese.
original.
Yeah.
The cheese, the what is it called? What
Yeah,
are
white
cheese
cheddar?
ones called? Yeah.
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 Yeah, I was like coming home from like family parties like during Christmas. So, like it's like you're excited when you get the toys because there's some excitement you get. It's like bring that popcorn home. That thing lasts you. You'll be happy about that for many weeks, forever. Yeah.
There's just a lot of popcorn in there.
Yes, yeah. Jackie, you mentioned Newport, right? That's in Rhode Island,
Yes.
right? So you lived in Rhode Island and went to school in Rhode
Yes.
Island for a period of time. So can you tell us about that and your time being there?
Oh, I love Rhode Island. Also, the Venn diagram of what I could talk about Rhode Island and what I could talk about kettle corn does like have a centerpiece. Big kettle corn influence. No, but Rhode Island is like so beautiful. I love it there. It's just Narragansett. My school was in Kingston, but that's kind of on like the Narragansett side, I'll call it, because it's 45 like minutes from one end to the other almost. But Narragansett side I love. It's just surrounded, you're right by surrounded by the ocean everywhere you go. I love it. Campus was probably like 15 to 20 minutes from there, so we were like close enough. But then moving off campus, you were living right there, and it was just like I got to absorb it that much more, and it's just a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you attest to that?
Yes.
Do you concur that Rhode Island is wonderful? There what?
There are no tri-state rolls there.
But there are ones on the list. They're very, very. I like this tactic of like they're kind of playing like mind games with each other a little bit of like working it into regular conversation. I don't see where this is going. This is good. I like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Angie, are you a fan of Jackie getting a role while also alluding to your love of Rhode Island?
Yeah. Well, I went to visit, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago? When you were still at the cottage house.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Like a month ago. 2 years ago. Yep.
That seems like even longer. But yeah, I went once for a couple days, and I've been back like 5 times now. And
It's the first time you came.
yeah.
That's crazy. You have been so many times since.
Yeah, and yeah, I liked it so much that I even brought my family there. Except we went at like the worst time because it was like super cloudy and cold and windy and rainy.
Wait,
but
when'd you go?
we went in like March.
Oh.
So it was like
I've only been in the summer.
yeah,
so
right.
love it,
And
yeah.
we only went at that date because my brother works at a country club, so he's like the whole summer he doesn't exist as a human. So that was like the week that we could go. We literally waited until like the very last moment that we could go, which was that weekend, and he was hungover the whole time anyway. So it's not like so we went at that date for no reason because he wasn't even a human still. But yeah, I love it. It's like relaxing and just like the best getaway. And I feel like a lot of people in New York don't realize how close it is.
Yes. It's a state that people
And how
forget about
beautiful it
often.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
And
people
I'm
really
like,
forget about it?
I think sometimes I think
Well,
I don't think people on the East Coast. I think if you ask
It
some
is
people
just
probably in the Midwest, I think they would have a hard like. I think if they're naming all the states, I think Rhode Island's probably one that people I think do underestimate sometimes.
I've never
I
been.
get.
well, I remember my friend from the city was like, "Why do you go there so much?" And I was like, "Go and find out."
Yeah, it's just lovely. It's just charming.
And it's a quick
just
drive.
Really,
You don't have to fly. You don't have to.
Being on the East Coast, you could hit up a lot of different states and not really, like California, you have to drive 5 hours and you're just in a different part of California.
Yeah.
True, because it's so long.
Maybe I'll take a midweek road trip.
Let's go right
Yeah.
now. Let's go.
All right,
Yeah.
taking the podcast on the road.
All right, guys, we're getting in the car now, and we're driving to Rhode Island. So thanks for listening to Sessions with Mary Jane with us.
The state, when you enter the state, the sign is "Discover Beautiful Rhode Island,"
Wow.
and we should.
We all should. Yeah. Everyone at some point
Let's
they like
keep
it.
doing it.
The whole
Yeah.
state of Rhode Island is also sponsoring. I said sponsoring. Sponsoring. Wow, that was such a flub. But
That's
anyway,
right.
get
You
the
know
point.
what's really good
Yes.
with ponzu sauce? A yellowtail roll.
Oh, yeah,
Wow, thank
there
you,
we go.
Jean. That was very.
The
That
supreme
was
yellowtail
smooth.
roll was
That was
also
smooth.
really good with ponzu sauce.
Yes.
That was it.
True.
Throwback
Yeah.
roll.
What is going on in Rhode Island? I don't even what is it? What are the vibes there? Wait, I'm so sorry. I'm stuck on Rhode Island still.
Hey, I could talk about Rhode Island. It's got a lot of vibes. got Providence, which is like the city. That's fun, and you waltz around, bounce around, and whole different vibe. That's a lot of fun. But Narragansett on the other end is the shit, and it's like beachy. It's kind of like tourist. Well, I don't want to say touristy, but like that kind of vibe in the off season is when I've spent my most time there. So it's kind of nice. You feel like it's a tourist town all to yourself, and it's just like, I don't know. It is very relaxing. I mean, it's kind of suburban. There's lots of houses to bounce around from too, and we're like in college and whatnot. And
would you say it's like less chaotic than Newport? Like Newport.
Yeah, so Newport's definitely bumping.
Yeah.
And that's like way more. I feel like
very touristy.
Yes, way more tourists are going through Newport for sure. That's beautiful too. Just like right on like the wharf and boats.
The wharf. I love how
boats
they
and
call it
whatnot.
Yeah.
the wharf and the.
I actually had to honestly think. I'm like, it's called a wharf, right?
Yeah.
For a second there. But yeah, there's so many
Tourist
awesome things
yeah.
in Newport as well, and that. Yeah, it's got a lot of good shit
seafood.
going on.
Yeah.
Seafood is
seafood.
incredible. I
The
have
lobster
a couple
rolls.
friends.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, nice, Angie.
Yes. Oh.
They honestly, every time I go to Rhode Island, that's like, I have to eat a lobster roll.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't
I
matter
had a
what
lobster
I'm
roll
doing.
punch card.
Oh, yeah.
Not this past summer, but the summer before when I was living there. There was a place
incredible.
that on the 10th one.
Mm.
Yeah, and I spent a little too many money. Too many money. A little too much money on those lobster rolls. But every time I bought one, I was like, this is kind of like there's $2 off because my 10th lobster roll will be free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like this.
You have to
slightly-
work to 10.
Yeah, which
How
is
big
like.
are they?
I mean, they're definitely good. Like they're everything I
Decent
need them to
size.
be, and they're
Yeah.
delicious.
How much butter and lemon are you when
Ooh,
you're...
sufficient.
Is it
Sufficient amount.
50-50?
Very
or
butter, much butter.
Yeah, I think more butter than
All
lemon.
butter.
Much butter.
But plenty of both.
Got you, yeah.
A popcorn amount of butter.
Yeah,
There you go.
Movie theater butter amount of butter.
Imagine.
Popcorn flavored lobster.
When I... Oh my
Popcorn.
god.
I bring my own popcorn.
Oh my god.
Crunchy lobster
Crunchy
roll.
on top.
And I asked them to just like chop it into the lobster.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Depends on the guy.
Right.
Wow.
When my guys there.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Could you possibly name your favorite food right now?
Oh my gosh. Probably not.
No.
To be honest. You start. Why
Oh,
don't you
yeah,
start with
Brendan.
that?
Yeah, let's go into
What have you been getting into, Brendan?
Chicken parm. Always have,
Rank the parms. Do you like other things?
Oh,
Parm.
okay, yeah. So,
Oh, he's sitting up. He's sitting up for this one.
eggplant was not on my radar when I was a kid. Hated the idea of eating eggplant. Didn't really like eggs when I was a kid, so that was already a bad start there.
It's got
Eventually,
eggs and plants.
I'm like, I don't know about this. Purple, I don't eat a lot of purple food. So anyway, and so eventually
I don't know
started,
about you, but-
yeah, but my purple food intake was pretty low. But then I gave eggplant a chance, and I will say, I think eggplant is probably, I would say it's like, chicken is still the best, I think. And then I would say like eggplant, veal, and then meatball.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh,
Wow,
I feel like-
meatballs last.
I do like meatball
That's
subs,
hurtful
but
to me.
Wow.
That hurts
Listen,
my feelings.
You know we're gonna edit that out as a vegan podcast. No.
I'll really say a Patreon episode of me just talking about meatballs.
If you fuck up eggplant parm, like, then it's just bad. It can get really bad. Right? Like, isn't that harder to
Well-
fuck up eggplant than chicken?
I don't know. I've had bad chicken before. Bad
Yeah.
chicken's bad.
Like, not, it was
It, like-
undercooked or
like
was it
a little
hard?
dry
Yeah,
and-
both. Yeah, I've had both.
When it's dry, yeah, I know.
The
Thin,
difference
like
be-
it's too thin, it's too dry, a little,
Yeah,
tough.
Yeah.
Also, the difference
Sorry.
between a restaurant and like home cooking is like you're not really
Oh.
frying eggplant as hardcore
Right.
Yes.
as you are in a
True.
restaurant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very true.
Yeah. Wait, where does meatball rank for you, Angie?
Well, the frustrating thing is I don't eat pork, so most places make their meatballs with pork, veal, and ground beef.
Mm-hmm.
So I can never really get it at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You're really strong for talking about this.
Somebody, Jordan, get her tissues.
Sorry, guys. We'll put a warning thinking of this episode. It's an emotional episode. Yes.
We've talked about the meat sweats, but we haven't talked about the meat cries.
Yeah.
I'm going to say meat tears. Normalize. Meat tears, Jordan.
Meat tears.
Sorry, my English major is getting a little rusty.
We're a few years out, folks.
Yeah.
A few years out.
I haven't used English in years.
Yeah.
Just going with a bit. Get it? Just let it die. Back to your sad meatball story.
Right.
Life of the sad meatball.
Back to the balls. So I can never really get meatball parm at a restaurant. So typically, I make my own meatballs at home, and it's not typically as meatball parm. I will have it like in a sandwich, cheese and balsamic and stuff. But I usually do that with leftovers. But meatballs are very essential to who I am.
Yes.
So I would say it's chicken and then meatball parm if I were to pick.
That's it? Just those two?
Out of the parms?
Yeah, the parms. Are you an eggplant parm person?
No, I don't think so. I think I like eggplant and like lasagna. I'd more so like it that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you do a meatball sushi?
You know what I wouldn't do is a chicken tempura roll.
Yeah.
On the topic of
I would
meats
not
and
do a
trees.
chicken tempura roll.
Yeah, no, you can't touch me.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I would call the FBI on that roll.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Funny how maybe I shouldn't say this on the podcast.
Is it about
I'll
the
say
FBI?
it off the record. I'll say it off the
Okay.
record. I was gonna say the people that got the chicken tempura roll were never my favorite customers.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to know who that is.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, you need to use names. That could be.
Yeah.
That's me because I like chicken tempura back in the day.
No, I was gonna say you're vegetarian. Or vegan.
Now I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so Andrew, when did you stop eating pork, and how has that affected your life?
I think. What year are we in? 2021. Probably 3 years. It's been now, and hasn't really affected my life. Getting less migraines and less like body.
Were you kind of allergic to pork?
I don't.
Or your
know.
body's
Well,
like reacting some way? Because when you get there's some people when they get migraines from consuming whatever the thing is, usually have an allergy to it.
So I don't know. It was like a tricky year because I was doing an internship in the city, and I mean, I don't want to get too into this, but basically I noticed I was eating a lot of BLTs during that internship.
Yeah.
And I was getting a lot of migraines that whole summer, but I do tend to get a lot of migraines when there's like high humidity. So I was like, I don't know if it's the weather or if it's my BLTs, but let me cut pork out and like see what happens. And I did it, and I just stopped eating like cold cuts, any kind of pork, food related item I just cut out. And like, I didn't miss it. It wasn't hard, and I was just kind of like, well, it's not making my life better or worse, but I'm just gonna continue to not eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy. I think it's easy, especially when you are working somewhere. Like, I think it's easy to get locked into like a similar food routine because you're just like that's like a part. Like if everything else is the same, you're like, oh, like probably my eating habits will also be the same in some way too. So.
I will say the only time it really hurt me to not eat pork was spicy Korean pork because it's so yummy.
Yes, it
At
is.
least you can still have the bulgogi roll.
Right.
But Jackie will get it for the list. Very nice one, Jackie. So obviously you guys are going head to head in this fierce competition, but aside from the game, you guys are actually also quite good friends in real life. Would you mind telling the story of how you guys became friends, if you don't mind?
Yeah, it was like 4 months ago. We met.
On a dating app.
Speed dating. Yeah, I was gonna say speed dating.
Hey, that would be great.
I immediately thought of that picture.
Yeah, we have there is a photo that exists.
That surfaced.
Yes.
Recently surfaced
There's a
photo.
photo from our past that is literally the very day that we met each other. we were sitting next to each other in the 3rd grade, and there is a photo evidence of this. I probably can find it.
While she looks for it, so that was my first day of school ever in the United States of America. So it was my first day of 3rd grade in the U.S., and we happened to have to sit next to each other. And we were like in the front row of class. And
oh my god, how adorable!
Yeah, and you can kind of see our personalities in that photo too, because Jackie's fingers like
I'm biting my fingers
doing something, and I'm sitting there like this.
Yes, you are.
And that honestly, like to this day, I feel like that's kind of our personalities when we're apart from each other. Because when we're together, we kind of we kind of feed up each other's energy.
Where are you originally from? Your family is from
Colombia.
Oh my god, this photo is so cute.
Can you believe that?
Oh my god. Sorry guys, you're missing out. Whoever's listening, you can easily see it.
Yeah.
That'll be on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Link in the bio, guys. Just kidding. You'll have to pay to see that photo. It's special.
So, have you been back to Colombia since, or since you left?
Yeah, I think so. I came here I was 8, and then the first time I went back was when I was 15. So it was 7 years, and my mom was there the whole time, and that was it took 7 years for me to see her again and to go back home. And then after that, I started going more often. But we were actually planning to go the summer of the pandemic. But of course, that kind of got halted.
Yeah.
How is Colombia dealing with the pandemic? I'm curious. Do you know?
Not great, guys.
I just didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, it is a 3rd world country, so a big problem is here. I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone. Of course, there are people here who can't take off work for an extended period of time and make a living. But in Colombia, 90% of the population, if they're gone from work for even 2 days, it's a huge deal, right? They can't pay for rent, they can't pay for their kids to go to school, they can't pay for food. They just can't afford it. And so not only was it a big deal for people to kind of be able to stay home and protect each other to stop the spread of the virus, but also now there's a lot more violence, a lot more crime, and people are getting desperate for money, and so that's kind of the big impact, but I think it's getting better. But people are still kind of hesitant with the vaccine and everything. So it's just that kind of leads to what is kind of going on here.
Do you miss because we were talking about cooking earlier? So is there a lot of that influence in your cooking, or your parents you have that really really good home cooking or?
That's a good question. A lot of my dishes I feel aren't. I don't really cook Colombian food. I leave that to my parents. And a lot of it is that a lot of the ingredients that we use in Colombia, you can't really find here, or the quality's different. It's just not the same. So even if you go to a Colombian restaurant in the U.S., it's not authentic. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's the same with Iran.
Yeah, right.
I don't really cook Persian food. I leave it up to my parents, and then when you do, you're like, oh yeah, no, certain ingredients are literally not available.
They don't exist. Are you from Iran? Is your family from Iran?
I'm not from. I'm from America, but my parents are. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you gone?
No.
Do you want to go?
Multiple. Yes, I would love to go, and I really am determined to go before I die. But obviously, political turmoil. It's constantly unstable.
Yeah.
B, I'm Jewish. That's not fond. They're also not fond of Americans in general. And C, my parents signed the political asylum escape left before the revolution. So they're on a list somewhere. So that's not cool either.
Your
Even though my
last
name was they shortened it when they came to America, but it's still the first part of it. So they'd be like, Ezra?
Wait a minute.
Put them together. So I also don't speak Farsi, so I would have to go with a family member who because I don't want to get myself in a sticky situation.
Yeah,
and be like,
right.
You can't. It's like I would probably have to wear a hijab. I would have. You can't. You know, there's no partying, drinking, whatever. Unless it's underground, and Persians love to party. And there's just so much that I feel. I also feel a bit, which I don't think I've ever said this, that I don't really trust myself necessarily to be cautious enough.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be too comfortable and too like, oh, I'm American, I have these freedoms, what do you mean? And then like, that's a classic American thought, like old 1940s guy. But it's just so, I feel like I would get carried away and I would be like, oh, shit, like, this is not, like, I don't know, I do have, maybe it's because it's just been instilled in us, because some Americans still think Iran is just, like, sand dunes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we've got buildings. They're buildings there, they've got a city, they're also advanced. But, it's just a lot of instilled with fear. And, like, and I do have that. I'm just like, oh, yeah, no, I'm, like, some, rightfully so, but I'm just like, oh, I'm a bit scared if I were to go over there. I'd be hella nervous that I know for sure, yeah.
Do you have family there right now? Or that you're in contact with? Or
No, mostly not that I know of, no immediate family, no extended, like, everybody came to either New Jersey, Long Island, New York, or Los Angeles. California and San Francisco, so everybody is over here, though. Yeah.
I completely understand what you're saying about going, to your homeland and having, like, this, because you do get used to, like, the way life is here, and even something as simple as, like, when I go back to Colombia, I mean, this is really, like, simple shit, but just, like, I can't wear jewelry when I'm there, I can't wear certain types of shoes, because, like, you will be a target, and if they even hear that you have, like, an American accent, they'll just think you're loaded, or, like, you'll be a target for people who are, trying to rob you or whatever. Right. So even, like, letting your guard down with something like, oops, I forgot to take out my hoops, like, that's a big deal. So I can't even imagine, like...
Yeah, you can't wear makeup.
Right.
At least I don't think so. There are definitely some, more freedoms that women are gaining, but...
Would you have to be with a man at all times?
So that's a good question. See, the thing is, I would have to check, because I do feel like some of my knowledge is dated, because I'm not brushing on what's Iran up to now.
In the Iran times.
Yeah, we just had Trump, so I was like, America, don't. I'm like, forget Iran. I'm like, we're already in a dictatorship.
You're like running away from America to Iran.
Let's take it back. Yeah. Talking about, what was the question? So I would have to check. I do feel like I would need to be accompanied by, my father. If I'm not, you're not married, or you do need to be, like, accompanied by somebody who is, I think, family related. I'm not even sure. I mean, because obviously they have people who are, outside Iran who come visit, who do come stay. There are, but just, like, stuff like that, I feel like I would have to brush up on it and, like, check and be like, what's the protocol here? Because it is a foreign land. It's weird to say, because you're like, I'm one off. First generation, your parents were there. You feel like, but I feel definitely more of an attachment. I am American. Like, there's not, it does not feel a lot linking me to that. If I was able to visit the place, but I've never been, the reason why I love watching Iranian films is because it's the only time I get to see what it looks like.
Yeah, true.
I'm like, oh, wow, there's this is here, because, like, you can, I guess Google pictures, but you're not going to find those specific peculiar locations, so, yeah.
Yeah. Are they very restricted? Like, do they do they censor images or anything like that?
They control everything you see. The internet. They would have, like, I don't remember when it was. This is, I think, a decade or so ago, but when they had a bunch of people were having, like, satellites on their roofs, and they just went and destroyed them. The regime. Wow. They definitely monitor everything and, like, control what you see and what you hear, because that's power. That's So, people like put their lives at risk when they will pirate movies and CDs because you're getting a lot. And Iran used to be fashionable. This is the beyond thing. Is it was so westernized. It got fashion from France. It was the one that was very they were like the culture. Like they had really cool people were learning English. People were studying at universities and being very women did not weren't wearing hijabs back in the 1950s, 1960s, 1940s, before Khomeini came into power. Sorry, I'm going on education class. I feel like Jordan and Brendan probably.
But you go.
They would have taken a bathroom break
when they met my mom. Yeah. Oh my God. She gave us.
You never learn too much Iranian history.
Fun history lesson. Yeah. It is because I tried Googling once to find I was looking up probably not the best site, but I was on Wikipedia. And
listen, we all do it, right? We all admit it. We need a quick fact. We're gonna go Wikipedia. Yeah. It comes up first. It gets the job done. So, they want you to donate. We don't.
I'm just saying, if there's one site that wasn't infiltrated by the Iranian government, it's Wikipedia.
Yeah. So I was looking up, right, because the Persian Empire. Persia is probably one of the oldest empires in the world, and I'm on Wikipedia and looking up because I wanted to know about all of Iran's and Persia's leaders, their past leaders, every single one and there's just shit, just blank. You don't know who's in leader from this time to this time. The exact time frame is in certain. There's not I get it. We're going way back, but then you also have presidents who've been in this family ruled for 100 years, and you're like, oh yeah, that's healthy. You're like, that's not, that's so democratic, is it not?
Yeah, there's something about being born into royalty that's really, it doesn't feel like that's probably good for anybody.
It still happens though, Mark. He's still, United Kingdom is kind of
thriving.
Mm-hmm.
I love the crown.
Yeah.
I feed into that.
I am the crown.
Is that your binge?
No, well, I told Brendan, it's not that it's a show where I'm dying to see it or that I'm I need to watch the next episode, but it's so cinematic to me.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so well done. I more so watch it because it genuinely makes me think about the amount of work that went into it, the money, the costume design, the way it's shot is so beautiful, and I rarely watch something and think so deeply into it, but for some reason that show really captivates me. And I notice all the details, and I like to watching the actors talk about what direction the directors gave them and how the scene came to life and what they were really thinking and what they were told, and it's something about the way it comes together. It's so stunning to me. But yeah, I watched. I mean, it's kind of a boring show, really, when you think about it. It's history, because I think the royal family is kind of they're kind of A-list celebrities somehow, and so there is that aspect to it where it's at the end of the day they are treated like celebrities, but the show is kind of deceiving to someone who doesn't watch it, because you might think it's really exciting and fun, but really they do get into the history of it all and the wars that happen and what the queen had to deal with and the rise and fall and whatever. But interesting show.
Yes. Yeah.
But are you generally interested in things like historical content or things that are based on a certain event?
No. Well, that's a tricky question because I do watch The Crown. I enjoy it, and I wouldn't. Well, it's tricky because it's not if you asked me something about history right now, I probably wouldn't know the answer. But Jackie here reads a lot of World War II books. And so a lot of the books, we share books all the time, and so I do read, all of the books that she reads about World War II, and, I genuinely enjoy them. And I think it's easy, a lot of those books, because it's not, a history textbook. It has, a plot, and it has, characters, and they're developed, and it makes it easy to kind of, follow the storyline.
Yeah.
which kind of like makes you accidentally learn history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the way that I would pick it up, but I wouldn't like put on the History Channel and like watch a documentary about something.
That's fair. I mean, because instead of just absorbing it as like these are facts and years and numbers and you just have to know these or whatever, like people do sometimes. That's how they get into it, is like knowing the story of it, and like that's why I think I like documentaries, watching those a lot, because it's just like, oh, they put the story together really well, and I like how they tell it or whatever, and it's just education. We're just giving you a history of this topic, and you're like, oh yeah, but it's so pleasing.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So World War II.
Yeah, what is it about World War II that gets you interested?
I don't know, but anything World War II. I love war in general movie. I love war in general.
Creazzo, pro-war, more war.
This is the Imperialist Meat Eater podcast.
This episode was brought to you by...
I do not love war. Okay, but war movies are any war movies I really am taken to, many of which are World War II. World War II books are apparently my favorite. I didn't decide they were my favorite, but they're all I read, apparently. So.
Yeah. Were you interested in World War II like when you were in like middle school or high school?
I have to be honest, I don't think I was interested in much of history at all as a young. And it's so true, like you're saying, like reading history, I really, like, that was my worst subject, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh.
But.
Miss Kabibbo.
No, let's not go there.
I'm sorry, I just pictured like 6th grade Jackie reading a like World War II book, and so that really didn't add up for me.
Yeah. In the picture of them when they met, there's actually a World War II book there too. You just like really like zoom in on it.
I mean, textbook format of literally anything isn't gonna do it, you know?
Not ideal. Not ideal.
Or not ideal.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
Yes.
I think also as we age, we know more of the significance of it. When we're younger, we're like, why is this important?
Definitely.
Also, I don't feel like that changes with math, though. People are so older and they're like, I don't need to know trig. And they say, I mean, yes. Goodbye. But like history does repeat itself, so it does help for us to literally know what happened in the past with many different incidents and
Right. Yeah. And no, it's just fascinating. And like, it's just like, it's like in a lot of ways unimaginable.
Yeah.
For us, and that's like really fascinating because a lot of people didn't imagine anything, and it's just like, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, also for us to be in a time where no one's enlisting.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't need to be
it's
a
like,
very
that was
different
not reality.
Yeah, with one state going to war with everybody.
Yes.
Like I feel like you're like what, like being that on a like that big of a scale.
And that is not anything that like is even slightly like something you could prepare yourself for. Like it's nothing you could ever anticipate or.
Sure,
it's just like the scope is like beyond what like we today can understand, or maybe I'm speaking for myself. I could not.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it was just like I think people were just like felt it very directly as it was happening at that time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it was
also down to the kids. 'Cause I remember when they showed us those like videos in class where they're like, this is just like so funny when you're like looking at it and you're like, this is what to do when there's a nuclear bomb. Under this picnic.
And we thought it was funny.
Yeah,
we used to giggle at those things.
Because they don't know, like, that's the best, like, bomb. So, like, how are you literally ever going to save yourself from a nuclear bomb if you're in the middle of a park? Like, or if you're, like, wherever they were hiding. But, like, I remember...
It's a sad thought. You're just, like, walking your dog in the park and then the nuclear bomb.
Oh my God.
It was a great day before this. Oh, wow.
But, like, I remember, like, a family relative is just, like, I remember, we, like, would do drills and you had to hide under your desk.
Yeah. I remember, like, a part of, like, the drill, like, just, like, the memories of it is that sometimes most of the time you didn't really know if it was real or not. That was like the whole thing, right? You do the drill and they want you to not know if it's real or not, so you like take it seriously because you get mad if you didn't. And then you have drills where you're just like, whatever, it's like an active shooter drill, no big deal. And then like you find out there's actually like someone outside walking around with a gun, and then you're like, and then at some point you find out you're like, this is going on a little bit too long. A little longer than usual. Teachers aren't just chatting with each other. They look really scared, and then you realize it's...
Are you speaking from experience?
That happened, yeah.
Oh, what?
You had a shooter at your school?
It wasn't like a kid. It was just, there was like a person hunting outside of the school, so someone spied someone walking around with a gun. And it's like, why are you hunting it?
But like animals, not children. Like they're hunting, right?
I assume, yes. I assume they were hunting
why do
animals.
I remember?
No, I do remember.
Yeah,
This was in Warwick, New York.
This was in Tuxedo?
Tuxedo. So
yeah,
I was in
I think
high
there was
school.
a bear or something.
No, Brendan did not go to Brendan did not go to high school in his hometown.
No, I did not.
Meanwhile,
But he was born in his hometown.
As we all are.
Oh,
Yes.
We're in New York.
Yeah. But yeah, so that really happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel okay. So with reading books about war, I think for me it's a good way to kind of ground myself and take a moment to kind of be like, holy shit, this happened, and it was very real for even my grandpa was alive at that time, and to just be like, of course my problems are real, my stresses are real, like we're allowed to be stressed and be anxious and whatever, but at the same time it kind of helps me to like jump over those obstacles a little bit. But at the same time, the conflict recently that just happened in Israel, I just remember one of my coworkers, because when I read World War II books, I'm like, oh, that was so long ago, it wasn't in my lifetime, quote unquote. It happened, but there's still people who are living through, I don't want to say similar, I don't want to compare the two because of course they're very different, but there are people who still live daily through war and disaster, and there's kids who will never have a childhood, and from the minute that they're born, they don't know what a normal life is like. To them, that's normal. And over the summer, one of my coworkers, we were in a meeting, and he's in Israel, and he said, oh, I gotta go, I have to go in the bomb shelter. And it was just like,
oh my gosh,
holy shit, I've never met him, but that was just a moment of it's still happening, and to be in the US and we have shit going on here, it just makes me realize we're so no matter what's going on here, we're still so far ahead from so many other countries. And so I don't want to say that we shouldn't push for growth here and progress, but it just makes me a little bit more grateful for what we have and the progress that we have made, and but I feel like we need to think about people overseas a little bit more, or in other countries, and just
sure, and I feel people definitely take our safety and security for granted. Just because this is what we are comfortable with, we are safe, this is what we, but we definitely, which is so, because how does it really harm us to help other countries? Really, we need, we can just, I know it's so cheesy, but can we all just get along? It's not,
well, it's so complex, and
I know it is,
don't know the first thing about politics, but...
You think you're politicians, so it's okay.
No, I'm not saying I'm not. Well, that's why
if the
I do.
The United States got involved with Israel, I don't think there would be Palestine anymore. To be honest,
but I don't think it's being pessimistic.
Fuck that shit up and make it even worse than it already is.
I think it's being realistic though, that we'll never not have war. It's just always going to be there. I think it's just become part of the nature. Honestly, I just don't it's things are already too set in their ways, and also for I don't know. Going back, thousands of years, it was still happening. It was still going on. It's not, war isn't anything new.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just not, I don't think it's going away.
No.
So the Middle East is the hot spot for war, I would say.
Not even though.
Really?
I feel like there's wars going on in every continent right now.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of revolution. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But so do we think in the U.S. at least, I feel the media coverage, what they usually talk about is the Middle East. You don't really hear about like South America last year, we like Colombia had a whole revolution as well.
Yeah.
But like you don't really hear about it. So
No.
why do you think here they focus on Middle East so much? Do you think it's just like
Well, as soon as 9/11 happened, that changed everything.
yeah?
So our focus on the Middle East became. I mean, now that is just that's just a huge, golden pot for media. Like everything's just like everything's fucked up over there. Like everything blah 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 blah. And like how like also still I think even 20 years later, people are still trying to remove the biases that are like put on Middle Eastern people, or like they're just like you're generalized, or like, oh, you're Middle Eastern, now I think this way about you, or like oh, you're not, oh, you're blah 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 blah, and then another way to have conflicts amongst like societies and civilians, people just like citizens one to the other. So I think it was definitely like 9/11 was a huge pivot. But also, I think it is just, I know it might be quite deep, but I do think it is strategic, because they want you to focus on things so you don't focus on the other bigger bullshit that's happening. This is your facade, and don't pay attention. Like, here's all your smoke and mirrors. Don't pay attention what goes on behind the curtain. There's definitely way more shit going on. Like, there's way more shit our presidents have done, good or bad or whatever it is, that, or probably mostly bad, that they don't
they
want
let
us
you know
to
the good
about.
stuff. They always tell you.
Of course, right, yeah.
So-
let's hide this really great thing about this president.
Save this puppy. Do we tell the public? I don't know.
But yeah, I think it's definitely to force our eyes to like where they want us to look and what they want us to pay attention to.
Yeah, and also in some ways it's like easier for them to have like a very like kind of like a target, as opposed to like, oh, because like in theory they can make the people in the United States hate anyone they want to, and they do sometimes. They're like oh, Russians are really bad. They say like people in China are really bad. It's just a matter of like what they want to focus on that time, and like and like the thing is like the news, they are just like storytellers at the end of the day, and they are and it's easier for them to have like very clear like good and bad.
Also it's the money too. It's definitely the money, and like a lot of the news people know that they're focused in like cities, and they know that they're focused in specific cities and markets, and they know like the specific people that they're trying to anger or like give the news to, or fear. Like it's like one or the other. Like sometimes they're trying to get people to be a mob and like go out and like act on things, and then sometimes they're like, stay home now. And they say COVID's spiking, so everybody stay home for 6 weeks, and then people do stay home, and then all of a sudden it's the reverse thing where they're like, oh, we should go out and protest, and now it's the time that everybody's supposed to be out there in the streets, and it's just because the media tells us when to go out and when to come back.
You don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
Also, though, with the continued conversation of space, that's just more divide amongst, because China's like, now we're doing this. Because America's like, we're doing this.
Didn't they send the first
being monopolized?
Yo,
and like
we
Russia's doing it. It was like that when we were racing to the moon.
but we can't even get like a Team USA all going up. It's like Jeff Bezos and Elon are their own team in the US.
It's Blue Origin versus what is Elon Musk?
SpaceX, and then Virgin Galactic.
Oh, the Virgin too, yeah.
Oh,
But they're getting delayed, I think.
Why?
They got shot down, I think, a little bit.
They're shot down in space? No, just
I think they had some safety concerns. I think they all had safety concerns, but I think like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk have more political power.
Oh, yeah.
At this point.
I
And,
do feel like
they'll
they'll eventually find Jimmy Neutron out there. He
That's
was out
so
there.
true.
He was
That's
out
so
there.
true.
He was the founder of space.
He was, yes.
How old is Jimmy Neutron again?
He invented space.
Isn't he like...
That was a very Sessions with Mary Jane guy.
He was a small child who invented space.
With a tall head,
He was
yeah.
very...
Small child, big brain.
Yeah.
And I bet the lima
He's
beans
really-
are the aliens.
Yes.
Do you remember the lima beans?
Oh, yes.
The evil lima beans
Yes,
in
I
Jimmy
do.
Neutron?
Yes.
The
Do you-
sleepover episode?
Yeah, I remember.
Yes.
They had their toothbrush in the side of the sleeping
Wait,
bag.
they were the aliens? Wait, I thought that...
No, I'm just saying that now.
Oh, okay.
But there were evil lima beans in
They
Jimmy
were.
Neutron.
Yes.
Why lima beans?
I don't know.
I wonder who picked.
That's why it's so curious to me.
Someone had a
I'll have
bad
to
childhood
rewatch that.
experience with lima beans, and they're like,
Something happened.
I got to
Yeah,
this point in
let's
my
have a
career,
movie
so
night.
I could put down lima beans for good.
Yeah.
Yeah, to prepare for COVID, we should have just watched the virus episode.
Yeah.
They showed you what a legit virus looks like.
We
Yeah.
could have invented the vaccine, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so true. So true.
Jimmy Neutron invented the vaccine. That's the truth.
I wouldn't doubt it. For
Yeah.
a
No,
minute.
so Carl.
Yeah.
Carl.
Carl. Yeah.
Carl accidentally let it leak. Like he let the virus out.
That'd be a Carl
That would be a
move.
Carl move, right?
Carl would let. Yes, he did.
I used to watch the Jimmy Neutron movie like a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the one with the Yokians, right? They like, right? The aliens, right?
I actually, for some reason, don't remember what happened in that movie, even though I watched it so many times.
Yeah. What
I
happened?
just
Time
know
for
they
a
say
rewatch.
Kids of the Future, right?
Yes.
Oh no, Kids of America. No, they say Future though.
Kids. Yeah.
Oh my god.
They had a crossover, Jimmy Neutron with Fairy Offense.
Yeah, they did.
And that used to be my show. I want to be Trixie Tang for Halloween. I'm considering.
that's
Oh,
Good,
that's a
good
good call. You should
costume.
keep that. We should bleep that out so that people don't.
So
take
people
that.
don't steal it.
That's right.
Pretty
Patented.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patented idea. So
Yeah. Are you
Venmo me $5 if you take that idea.
Are you guys fans of the Halloween season? Would you say?
I love the Halloween season.
Yeah. What do you love most?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I just love like this any spook factor, and I absorb any and all spook factor I can get. I don't know. It's just like everything.
Yeah.
Like cute, spooky, or like you actually like being scared?
Like scary spooky. But I mean, like also cute spooky. All this.
But it's like you enjoy being like. Do you get scared by like movies or like
I feel like I really thought I didn't like scary movies when I was like younger, and then I would watch scary movies and really not like be scared. But I also would like always talk like shit about scary movies. I'd be like, you're doing that, whatever. Like I cannot help myself but make fun of it, but I'm like loving it while I do that. So I'm very lovingly heckling the scary movies. But and other than that, being scared. I'm trying to decide if I get like scared easily. I feel like I don't.
I'd like jump scares don't get you.
You know, it's funny. One time, I just have to say that my friend like just jumped out and scared me at our house, at college, and I literally like screamed. I felt like I had literally never reacted like that to somebody jumping and scaring me. It was so funny to both of us. We were like, I just like really screamed bloody murder. That was so
Yeah,
weird.
it's hilarious when you see it through a screen. It's not so fun when it happens in real life, is it?
I know, it's true.
That is true.
Have you been to like haunted houses? Do you enjoy
Not
them?
enough. Definitely not enough. I went to
to go to more.
Okay, so you hate being scared.
Yeah, I don't get why people like it.
Why? Do you like any like Dateline? Like, do you like Dateline?
Well, that's
like
different. That's different.
I love Dateline.
Okay, well,
Like real investigated murders.
Like to catch a predator?
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's real. No, I
that
don't like
with-
that. No.
Okay.
Like I'll watch it. Like I'll watch Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
I don't watch like this is why I don't watch. This is why I don't put on local news because it's always sad, depressing shit. I don't like that. It's like, but anyway, yes, continue. Haunted house. Because I've been to haunted houses. Like, yes, I'll watch scary movies because like I do want to be thrilled. I've gone skydiving and bungee jumping, so I like thrill. But I don't when it's like, when it just gets me though. Like Hereditary, I'm gonna whip that out again. When I watched that movie, I was like, this is not right. This is not enough. I'm telling you, it's still like a kid in me. I become afraid of the dark. Like I have cold sweats when I sleep. I have a trouble because I keep having the visuals stay in my head and shit keeps replaying.
Oh my god, right.
And I don't like it.
Damn,
So yes.
Wow. Imagine going on a haunted skydiving trip.
Oh my god! That would be like.
when someone's like trying to cut your parachute or something.
Oh my
Like,
god!
it's at night, of course. So you're falling through the sky at night, and then you have like other
At night,
creatures
of
that swing
course.
by.
They should do like
You wouldn't even see it.
No.
They should
That's
do some kind of
crazy.
like virtual reality with that. You know how they have like
Yeah.
indoor skydiving?
Yes, the
Uh-huh.
tubes, yeah.
Off the record,
they should make it
we
scary.
should make that.
Turn the lights
become
off. Put the
millionaires.
strobe light on.
Scary
Yeah.
photos.
Play some spooky sounds. Throw shit at them.
Are there haunted houses in Rhode Island? Like for Halloween, do they get like what's Rhode Island?
Probably, but I haven't been to any haunted places in Rhode Island or events.
Okay.
But there is a little something called the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even describe this to you. It is thousands of pumpkins carved.
Oh, we've
in
been. Continue, but explain it. But yes. I was like, why is that so familiar?
Yes.
That name, yes. Wait,
We
where?
have it on the
Which one
Hudson.
did
It was in Rhode Island, near Providence. I don't
went
know
to
if it was
Hudson
in
Valley, yeah.
Providence.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was. Or Johnson and Wales Zoo. Is that a thing? I don't know. Why was it at a zoo? Why were there animals? I don't know. What was
Where were the animals?
It was.
Where are the pumpkins?
Every now and then, I was like
So they're-
backtracking, and I was like,
They're carved, but were they also like lights and they had?
oh
like,
yeah,
those-
all illuminated. Pumpkins upon pumpkins. I want to refer to a photo again. So this I'm
It's
not like
gorgeous.
made for
It's
an
really-
audio. I'm showing you another picture.
So-
That's lovely.
No,
No.
people look up though Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular. If you
Yes.
haven't done it yet in the
Yeah.
Halloween season, it's a really fun thing to do.
It's hard to get tickets this late in the game, guys.
Yes,
So if you
true.
haven't already,
You
book
know
them
what?
for next
Angie's
year.
right. You
Yeah.
just crush your hope. Just get it.
At this
Wait,
point,
so-
you're better off
so
buying
there's
your own
this really
pumpkins.
cool
carve your own pumpkins and light them up.
There's this great place you could go, but you can't.
What about you, Angie? Do you like being scared?
Yeah, I like horror. I wouldn't say I'm a big, yeah, I like Halloween. And also going back to like cooking and baking, I feel like this is the time where I start baking a lot again.
Yes.
Because like the weather's right and it's
Yes.
cozy and it's always nice to have like a hot cup of tea or coffee with like a baked
Oh,
treat.
Yes. Mhm.
And I do like to like give people baked goods.
Mm.
It's like a love language.
Also, that the house smells nice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Once you do it.
Natural
you're
air
like,
freshener.
Yeah, you're like, I did that. I created that smell.
Yes. That is a reward, like someone coming into your house. And
Yes.
I'll have to
Yeah.
give you guys some of the pumpkin cookies I made.
Yeah.
Yeah. you made pumpkin.
Yeah, they carve a
Taste
pumpkin
test.
and then use the innards to make cookies.
Oh
Really?
my God.
Oh my god, I love it.
That's excellent.
I think it's our first time doing it.
With
He did the baking.
cookies.
I did the carving. That's
Yes.
usually where
I
I
grabbed the guts. I was all about the guts. What's a good Halloween
Yeah,
without
No
some
one
guts?
wants gender roles, right? Break all stereotypes.
Yeah, we do that quite often. We don't even think about it, but it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking to other people and they're like, he cooks, he bakes, he cleans. I'm like, why is this weird?
Like he's a functioning human being.
Yeah,
Just like me.
It's true.
We both have the same 24 hours. We both have hands. We both have legs.
Yes, the same 24 hours.
Yeah.
Nicely said.
That is very
Nicely
Yes.
put.
Yes.
Well, this has been fantastic.
My 24
We
hours
love-
are actually longer. Because
Oh, they are?
The mushrooms. No.
Do you guys have any other roles you want on the list?
Oh.
Yeah,
before
triple
my phone
play.
goes up? We already got triple play. Jackie's not triple play.
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar is not mentioned.
Ooh, I've never had a cat.
Naruto roll.
Naruto, okay.
Wow.
Mm.
Sassy roll.
Ooh.
The Naruto role goes along with our earlier guest, who was into anime.
Oh,
Yes.
I kind of want to get into anime for some reason. I just one day woke up and I was like, that could be fun for me.
Have you tried it
Yeah,
yet?
there you go.
Well, when I was
Good
younger,
time.
I used to play Naruto with my cousins.
Mm.
But I don't think I ever really watched the series. Or like it would be on in the background, but I never really committed to.
They're putting so many more on Netflix.
Yes.
I feel like Netflix is a huge place for people
Yeah.
to go to. Or at least that I know of. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, hey, you have to have something for everybody, you know, and especially
Mhm.
Netflix. They really try to.
Yeah, now they have like Hallmark movies. It's not Hallmark branded, but I'm just like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we say that now. When Christmas rolls around, we're gonna be
Yeah,
grateful.
you're
that
Oh,
right.
my
we
mom,
have-
my
It's
mom
not
and I
bad, yeah.
love a
Mm.
cheesy
Oh,
ass
it's-
Hallmark
It's
movie.
so great. It's so great.
The
Also,
cheesier, the better.
yeah, yeah. Also, just like their decisions and their acting.
Oh,
and it's
God.
just a joy. It's just very. You're just
It just reminds me not to take myself too seriously.
Right.
Yeah. Also, everything works out at the end. Sometimes, like, they're real.
Right.
I'm just like, if you really cheated on your girlfriend with her best friend, this would not be happening. You're not all getting along.
It really emphasizes the power of a good speech at the end. You know, you give a good speech and really win someone over.
And then just puppies. There's just always puppies.
I love
And
puppies.
snow.
And snow.
Don't forget the snow.
Yes.
Snow and the hot chocolate.
And there's
Hot
always
chocolate.
a lady like lugging her luggage in the snow.
Traveling,
somewhere,
always
but she's
traveling.
gonna
She's
get
doing her
out.
job.
There are ski slopes and
Yeah.
lodges.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, we cracked it. We
Let's
cracked Hallmark.
relatively.
How many do they
Let's
have?
write a Hallmark movie.
Yes.
Let's write a Hallmark movie. What about it?
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All hands on deck.
Yes, awesome.
All right. Well.
And break.
And Hallmark.
I am curious how many can I know how many they have?
Yeah. Wait,
Oh shit.
do you guys want to know, or should I secretly show Reena how many you have?
You can secretly show.
All right. So
How many?
that's
Kill us with
Angie.
the suspense.
Dun,
Wait,
dun,
I have the
dun,
count.
Dun, 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 dun,
Okay.
This is when they would like show us like frame next to frame, just like close up on our
okay.
face. Or, like,
Okay.
I feel like I'm doing a blind date right now.
That's kind of a blind date.
So are we done? This is it?
It's whatever you guys want.
You decide when you like give up.
spider roll.
Oh. Okay.
You can
Sweet
give
hot
up at
lady.
any time.
Shum Shum Poro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like it should be timed. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, we
Or
don't
should
have.
we see where it's at right
You
now?
guys could go 7 hours if you want to.
True.
And this stops every 2 hours, the
Yeah.
audio recorder.
As combatants, you can choose when you mutually want to end the game, as they do in most sports. No, they don't do that.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it. I'm done.
Oh, wait, did you guys watch
It's like
Squid
water.
Game?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you. Yeah. I am
Hmm?
on episode 7. Squid Game.
Oh.
No, we haven't seen it yet. We're late.
I
We're
haven't
so
watched
late.
either.
Rena, you're gonna get us killed in.
Is
you
that
ever
how it
watch
works?
Squid Game? Like,
It's bizarre. Yeah.
Well,
we have to watch
I
it.
don't know. Apparently, there's a rule you have to wait for your partner to watch stuff.
That is
I guess
old.
you could just
That's
watch
what
it
I'm
without
doing.
me.
I'm being good.
Go on without me.
Otherwise, I would have binged it already.
Yeah. Well-
You is back on Netflix, and I'm waiting for my brother to watch. Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, Squid Game is, like, it's a new show, so it's, like, it's one thing, but, like, when you've, like, been watching a show with someone for, like, multiple seasons, if you just all of a sudden stop that
Well,
trend.
the funny thing is I didn't watch it with my brother, but I showed him the show, and now he's like, you gotta watch
He's
it
so
together.
into it. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so stupidly good.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna get into this. Alright.
Yeah, well, you'll catch Angie's opinions on you on the You podcast. Thank you guys for being here. So you know, we have your totals. So you both did very well. You both had enough roles that would definitely satisfy a large family that you named. So I'm very good about that. I will say that Jackie, you had 8 roles, while Angie had 12 roles. So Angie is our
congratulations.
role queen
Oh
tonight.
wait, I
so.
thought you were gonna win.
We know if you guys were given enough time, you'd probably list dozens.
Oh, we could have done the whole menu,
So
not
many.
missed one.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But they
You
were
didn't
more-
name the Park Avenue role.
I know.
Disappointed
Are
in
you
you.
amazed?
Oh wow.
That's her fate. That's
There's a
what
Park Avenue
top
in,
3.
That is in the top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rutherford.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys want to plug or say? Any handles of where you guys are?
No.
Jackie, you're
It's
plugging
awesome.
this.
we are
Hanging out.
yeah. Well,
yeah,
Jackie's
that's about it.
doing her final round of her degree. I
Yes,
think
hell
that
yeah.
She
Yeah.
is working
Wish I could
hard
promote
in
my way
hospitals.
through that.
Well, if you
Yeah,
have enough
well-
followers on Instagram, you actually do get your degree earlier. I don't know if you
Oh,
know that,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah, so definitely hit me
Get her
up.
to 1K, guys.
My
It would mean a lot.
Venmo, my Venmo will be at the end.
Yeah. Send us
Link out there.
And that's all
tips.
money, yeah. Just give money to the
Send
people
us
who-
$1 every time we made you laugh. I don't know.
Oh
Maybe.
gosh, that's
It'll be in the
tough.
bio if you guys send it to me.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yes. Any last words, Jadrin?
Just go to latenightHump.com and just get lost there for a little bit. Come on, just do us a favor, do the algorithm a favor, make it make sweet love to our website. Thank you guys so much.
Doesn't cost
Thank
anything
you,
to
guys.
like or follow.